second semi-final in the men's 81-kilogram light heavyweight division. We've seen both boxers make a really brisk start. The man wearing blue is the British representative, Joshua Buatsi, 23 years of age, from South London, working effectively to both body and head. His opponent is the tournament #3 seed, Oleksandr Khyzhniak, European Games bronze medalist from the tournament in Baku, Azerbaijan last summer. Brisk start by both boxers, neither of them having to go looking for one another, content to stand toe-to-toe on top of the logo and try and pick holes in the defense of their opponent.
It's important here, both have got similar styles. They're starting the contest very similarly, standing in front of each other and trying to look for holes and gaps in the guard. So it's important that you get your timing right and try to punch just as your opponent punches, because that's when a gap will appear. When they've got a guard as tight as they have, both boxers, it's very difficult to get through. So you get the timing right. As your opponent's about to punch, you beat him to it. When that gap's created, you get through with a shot. So you've got to get the timing right.
Oleksandr Khyzhniak is 20 years of age, highly decorated boxer in youth and junior levels of the sport. Again, both of them working away. It's almost as though they're taking it in turns, because Buatsi went just moments ago and then Khyzhniak came back with heavy leather of his own.
Well, I'd like to see Josh Buatsi just box off his jab probably a little bit more. We know what Khyzhniak is like. This is his type of contest. He loves this type of bout when someone's just holding their feet in front of them. So I think Josh Buatsi here has got to get on his jab, create a bit of a distance and gap, draw the lead of his opponent, yes, and then go back at him. But he's just got to move his feet a little bit more, and occasionally, again, it's a case of you've got to push the opponent back. Don't let him keep walking forward.
Penetrating the guard effectively with shot through the middle is Buatsi. Khyzhniak, World Youth Championship gold medalist at 75 kilograms from the tournament back in 2012. Progressed effectively through to the senior ranks, where he's got experience in World Series boxing, as has Buatsi. Just like Galalia fight, Buatsi hasn't been on the podium squad for that long, but what an impact he has made in his short time representing the national team.
He's a fit kid, Buatsi. He's very, very strong, trains very hard, very disciplined indeed. But this is a contest where you've got to do something a little bit different and eye-catching here.
Now, Khyzhniak has wandered to the neutral corner at the conclusion of that round.
Well, I think
boxers guilty of
both of
having a little bit of afters.
He's doing the complaining, but there was 6-1, that wasn't it, to be quite honest, at the end of the contest. A little bit low there from Buatsi. There's a good right hook to the body, and then he switched it with a right uppercut to the head. Khyzhniak himself had some good success here, keeps coming forward, pushing Buatsi back. Strong kid, that was afterwards. And probably that was a little bit naughty, Josh.
Well, AIBA Open Boxing has implemented the 10-point must system. Buatsi taking the opening round across the board. And as Ricky Hatton used to say of the professional code, it's not tiddlywinks, is it? So we move into the second round. Buatsi took the opening round across the board, 10-9 for all three of the scoring judges. Remember, 10-point must system in effect. And this contest is resumed in the second round, the exact same manner and tenor as we saw during the first. Both boxers standing toe-to-toe, but almost imperceptibly is Khyzhniak, who is the man coming forward and on the front foot.
He's coming forward, but obviously the judges are thinking that not all these shots are getting through. That's all I can think of. Keeps coming forward. Buatsi is matching him through his work rate and the pace of this contest. I'd just like to see him box a little bit better behind that jab and create a little bit more space. Good
left hand to the body from Khyzhniak. Both of these men have been in the ring against the legendary Julio Cesar La Cruz. Oh my goodness. Warning for use of the head issued against Khyzhniak, and it's gone both ways. Wow, so that means a point from the total of both boxers at the conclusion of this second round. So effectively, this could be 9, well, depends on who wins the round, but somebody is going to have, let's see how the round is scored, but a point will be removed from the totals that are given to the boxers at the conclusion of round 2. A double warning for use of the head. But this is how they're boxing.
What I don't understand and what I find puzzling is it isn't as if the referees have to stop them 3 or 4 times to tell them a verbal warning of the use of the head. He's just stopped the contest and given both the warning. Unless he's saying something to them at close quarters that we can't hear, but still, very, very surprised there with the ref.
Both of these boxers testing the strength of one another, working the torso, working the rib cage with arcing punches on the inside. Very rarely is it at long range. Generally it's short and mid-range stuff. But there's been no reckless use of the head from either boxer. But still, the referee has made his decision and his proclamation, and at the conclusion of this second round, a point will be deducted from the cards of both men.
That's why you got to beat him to the punch, Josh Buatsi, as he's coming forward. Get that counter-attack spot on.
Cracking left hand to the body, then right hand success to the rib cage as well. And just in the final minute or so of this round, Buatsi has increased the space almost imperceptibly, and he has had the better of the bout at that type of range. Mid-range and long range, for my money, from my vantage point, it's Buatsi who's come out on top. But look at this for an exchange as the bell sounds to conclude round number 2. Both boxers testing one another to the max as they go in pursuit of their Olympic dream.
Khyzhniak there just punching right to the very, very end of that round. Let's have a look here. So they're both coming forward. Is this where they'd stop them for the heads? I mean, well, I find that amazing. They've been boxing like that the whole of the contest, and now he gives a warning without really giving a verbal warning before that. I mean, Khyzhniak here standing very, very square. As you said, Ronald, towards the end of the round, Josh Buatsi increased the distance between himself and his opponent, had a little bit more success, but Khyzhniak, you can't fault his work rate.
So there you see it. It's still a 2-point margin because both boxers were given a warning for reckless use of the head, but Buatsi won that round 10-9 across the board, as he did round 1. 19-17 in favor of Buatsi. That is because both boxers were penalized in round 2 for use of the head. So into the third and final round we go, and Great Britain's Josh Buatsi from South London is on the cusp of qualifying for Rio 2016. After 2 completed rounds, he holds a 2-point advantage over the 2012 World Youth Champion, the Baku European Games 2015 bronze medalist, Oleksandr Khyzhniak from Ukraine, the tournament number 3 seed. And these 2 boxers have engaged in a firefight from opening bell up until now. This is where the contest has been fought. Short range, mid-range. Buatsi demonstrated his intelligence and ring craft by increasing the distance towards the conclusion of the second round. And at that type of distance, he had a great deal of success. Now, can he keep it together, stay focused on the task at hand, as he hopes to join his teammates to make it a 6-strong contingent to this point, who have booked their place for Rio.
What he's got to do here, Josh Buatsi, is keep creating that gap and distance between himself and get behind his jab. This fella in front of him is extremely strong, but only if you're standing in front of him. So increase the movement, use the jab, make him miss. He's very, very flat-footed and he comes square. So hit and move to the side, then go back at him, but you've got to push him back also.
There's a good right hand over the top from Khyzhniak, but look at the response that brings from Buatsi. Buatsi comes into this tournament in terrific form because he had a cracking victory in World Series boxing over a Frenchman representing the USA Knockouts. There's good success with a left hook to both body and head for Buatsi, but Khyzhniak stays in the pocket and has right uppercut success. All action here in the third and final round.
I just heard one of the cornermen from the GB say, move your feet, and that's what he's got to do, Ronald. Got to move his feet, create a bit of spacing gap. This guy keeps coming forward, it's a bit ponderous, but that's better now from Josh Buatsi. Good response.
Well, in AIBA open boxing, even though the 10-point must system has been re-implemented, oftentimes it's about skill, but this is a fight that's about attrition and heart and will and fitness and conditioning. No doubt there's plenty of skill being exhibited as well, but both of these boxers content to stand in front of one another and almost see who is the strongest. Buatsi has demonstrated the greater variation as he is here at this type of distance, but more often than not, Khyzhniak gets himself back into range as he does there, and he has success with arcing punches of his own. Terrific exchange once again. Neither man seeking any hiding place. No quarter asked, none given throughout the three-minute rounds of that contest. Absolutely relentless pace. Khyzhniak thinks he's done enough, but remember, given the status of the contest going into the third and final round, this man trailed by 2. He needed a 10-8 round to get back on terms or to knock Buatsi out. He couldn't do either. Buatsi matched him and raised him. And surely the man is through to Rio 2016.
What a tremendous last round that was by both boxers, boxing right to literally the last 10 seconds.
Absolutely
fantastic stuff.
Incredible effort from men up at the 81-kilogram light heavyweight division. These are big, strong guys, and from the opening bell sounded, they're in a big Olympic-sized ring, but they could have boxed this, well, almost on a postage stamp. Here's the official verdict. Great Britain's Joshua Buatsi is through to the Olympic Games in Rio. He kneels in celebration, beats his chest in delight, because he joins his 5 Great Britain teammates to make it a 6-strong contingent in Rio 2016. He joins Nicola Adams, Galal Yafai, Kez Ashfaq, Muhammad Ali and Joe Cordina. And it will be a half-dozen British boxers going through to Rio 2016 as of this point, because Josh